Hi, everybody. It's Craig and Arun back with your NBA Hump Day action. The 5th of November, we're going to have like 10 plus games here for you in the NBA. Make sure, if you haven't done so, make sure you like and subscribe all the content we do here at YouTube. We got the Wednesday college football play up, the 2 plays up. We also will have all the plays up for football for the entire week. So make sure if you're here at YouTube, you like and subscribe. Don't forget also get on that 2-for-1 football pass. If you want to get on our football plays, DocSports.com/CraigArun. For $99, you get all of our football plays for both of us entire weekend long. And we're both going to have 8-unit plays this weekend. So that's 8-unit game of the years. What's the chances that both of us have that? Probably 1 in 100 that we actually have on the same weekend, but that's the case. So make sure you get in on DocSports.com/CraigArun. If you want in on the NBA plays for today, 15% off. Use the promo code KICKOFF15. Go over there. You can buy the day pass for $30 for either one of us, or you can buy a week pass for $99 for either one of us. So make sure you use that code. This will not work on that $99 deal because it's already 50% off. FYI. All right, NBA. Oh, don't forget, I would be remiss if I didn't talk about our YouTube Premium. 3 different levels right here for $49.99. You get all 3. That's per month. Ends up being about $3,000 worth of picks. These are all the plays that just don't make our card. So they're just slightly off our card. That could be parlays. It could be props. It could be sides, totals, a little bit of everything. So make sure you get in on just $49.99 a
200
month.
selections, an extra video every day.
And the link is in the description to get in on. So make sure you do so. All right, NBA plays. Here's what you're here for. How about we run down through these? Nets at the Pacers.
How about you want some boiled peanuts and a Yingling? I am rolling tonight.
Pacers minus 6.5 total, 233. What do you like here, IC?
Well, as I eat my boiled peanuts, which is my dip for the night. Look, the Nets come in as a 6.5-point dog. They've lost the Pacers the last 3 times. It was crazy. The Nets were, a 9.5-point dog going in against Minnesota. And Minnesota without Anthony Edwards did really well. Indiana, of course, lost by 2 points to the Bucks. You have an 0-7 and a 1-6 team hooking up here. I want you to know the Nets have given up at least 125, 129, 117, 138. They have not gone a game this year where they have not given up at least 117 points. And that's their lowest output, like defensive output. That's really bad. Indiana comes off a game in one of their probably, losing by 2 points to the Bucks. When Indiana wins, first of all, this is the first time they've been favored all year long, which is wild, right? So now you're going to see this total sitting at 233, and I know they're 2 bad teams, but the problem is that 75% of the public is on the over 2. I think this is a game that the Nets can actually do surprisingly well. I got to be honest with you. I thought the Nets played pretty well in that last game against the Timberwolves. They only lost by, I know they lost by 15 points, but they were only down by 2 going into the fourth quarter. And I think that says something. Between Thomas and Mann and Clowney and Claxton and Martin and Williams, I think this is going to be an issue here for the Pacers. I think the Pacers are going to overlook them because they have Denver on deck as well. Give me the points here, Craig. I'm going to take the plus 6.5, and I'm probably when we're filming this at plus 6.5, and only 20% of the public is on them. I think by tomorrow it might even be a plus 7 because everybody's going to jump on them. Craig, the Philadelphia 76ers are now a 10.5-point dog against Cleveland. Cleveland, of course, comes into this game beating my Hawks 117-109. Philadelphia, of course, lost to the Bulls. It was a revenge game for the Bulls, though, so don't hold that against them. Who do you like here?
Well, the Sixers played last night in Chicago, up 19 in the first half, scored 36 points in the second half. That's all they had. I'm a little been out of shape because I had the over, and I don't know why the Sixers quit playing up and down. They tried to play half court in the second half, and that's just not the type team they are. I'm going to play a prop in this one. Tyrese Maxey is over 32.5. He is averaging like 35 points per game. He had 37 or 38 last night. I don't expect Joel Embiid to go. I think he's going to get a lot more chances to go at this Cleveland team, and I think he has another big game. He's playing lights out right now, and I think he keeps it going in this one. I'm not touching the side or total. I think this is a props-only game.
Craig and I love doing videos for you every week. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you get all of our videos every single time when you post it, so you get the best lines. As soon as we post it, people jump on it. So if you want to get it as soon as we post it, like and subscribe.
Next game, Utah at Detroit. Detroit's favored by 10.5. Total 230.5. We saw Utah favored by this exact same amount, right? At Boston, they went out right. Can they do it again?
Yeah, I mean, look, the Pistons beat them 134 to 106 last time. Utah comes into this game, beat Boston, right? But that was a game where I told you I leaned on Utah because it made a lot of sense because they were coming off double-digit losses to Phoenix and Charlotte, and then that was their worst two losses of the year, and they turned around and they beat the Celtics. So the question is, what happens here? And look, Utah's not going to shoot 45% from the field again, in my opinion. They had 18 turnovers as well. Boston had a horrible game. They went 11 for 51 from three-point land, Craig. That's really hard to do. To shoot 51 threes, only make 11 of them, even for an NBA team. Detroit comes in after having beaten Memphis on the road, Dallas, Orlando. And I just don't really and obviously Utah knows, or Detroit knows that Utah just beat Boston on the road, so they're not going to overlook them by any means. And I absolutely love the Pistons here. I think they're going to do well. It's a nice way to troll the Celtics too. Hey, look, this is a team that you just lost to that we just beat by 15. You know, I'm going to take the Pistons here. Craig, the Knicks here, a 5-point favorite against the Minnesota. Minnesota, of course, doesn't have Anthony Edwards. He's injured, but that hasn't affected them at all. Anthony Edwards is listed day-to-day now instead of completely listed as being out. Minnesota comes in after beating Brooklyn and Charlotte. They're covering quite ease without our man Anthony Edwards. Of course, when York comes off nice wins against Washington and Chicago. What do you like here?
I would wait till game time to make sure Anthony Edwards is playing or not playing. I'm assuming he's playing with this odds because if he's not playing, I thought this would be 7.5. So I'm thinking he's playing. So here's how I would play it, assuming he's playing, and then I'll give you it if he's not playing. If he's playing, I like Minnesota in this spot. Julius Randle, remember, it was a big Nick for a little while. I think he's still a little sour. That a lot of people used him as the scapegoat while he was there, and he's played great, of course, for Minnesota. I like Minnesota if Edwards plays. If he does not play, I'm going to play the under in this game. I just think if he doesn't play, I think Minnesota is going to have to slow it down, grind it out type style. I know the Knicks like to run up and down. I think that's where they'll try to hold them back a little bit, and I'd play the under. So that's how I'd play this game, depending on if Anthony Edwards plays. Next game, Washington at Boston. We already talked about Boston coming off ugly loss after a double-digit favorite. They're a double-digit favorite again here. Boston minus 12, total 231.5. What do you like?
Craig, right before I tell you that, remember, I am 2-0 to start the college basketball season. Nice for you to win on FSU over on Tuesday. I also gave you the 7-unit win on FAU over Boston College. I'm 2-0 plus 1,100. Both Craig and I have our 8-unit selections this weekend. One of our football packages is $99. You get both of our football packages for $99 only because you're watching this video at this particular website. And not to mention, YouTube Premium is truly the edge. You literally get an extra video from us every single day. About 200 extra selections all for just $20 a month. If you're looking for an edge, that is truly, truly the edge. All right. So Washington comes into this game after having lost by 17 to the Knicks. They've lost by 15 plus to Orlando, lost by 15 plus to Oklahoma City. They've now lost 5 straight covers. You think that the Celtics are not going to be pissed after losing by 27 to the Rockets and then losing by 2 to the Jazz as the 10.5-point favorites? Man, they're going to be so ticked off coming in. I mean, Washington could step up here, but I just do not have the gonads at all to take the Wizards here, even though I kind of lean on the Wizards a little bit. What I do think will happen, is I think this game might go under the posted total. I just think Boston's going to really shape up here defensively coming off of a bad loss. I also think Washington's going to shape up somewhat defensively too. But my lean here is either the Celtics, but I can't take the Celtics. 79% is on them. And if you're sure Washington, would you not get up for this game like it's a Super Bowl? So the only thing that makes sense to me is possibly take the under in this game, but I'm staying away from it. I like so many of the other leads that we talked about rather than this game. Craig, Houston is a 7.5-point road dog here, coming off that big win against Boston and Dallas and beat Toronto and Brooklyn. That's 4 straight wins for this team. They're now 4-2. Memphis, of course, has the John Moran situation. They just lost to Detroit in a game in which Jock came back and went 5 for 16. Didn't really particularly play that great. I thought he might have been playing a little bit better coming off that game. Houston comes in as a 7.5-point chalk. Do note that the Grizzlies beat them 120 to 119 last time. Who do you like?
I said last time when we did this video, I was fading Memphis that game because, it was just the writing was on the wall. Memphis actually did do well. The second half kind of made it a little interesting after not playing so great in the first half. I think they get up for this one. I do think it's like now we're 1 game removed from that, plus the suspension, so really 2 games removed. I kind of think Memphis will play a little better. I mean, the news came out that basically Ja was available for almost very little in the offseason, and no one really was interested. So I think he needs to realize no one really wants him the way he's acting and playing right now. I think at least if he wants to go somewhere else, he needs to start playing like the old John Morant. I think he'll play that way tonight. Give me Memphis plus the 7.5. I just think it's a little too many points. And 72% of the public is on Houston. Home underdog here? Yes, please. Next, Pelicans at the Mavericks here. Mavericks favored by 7.5, total 226.5. I don't know if I've seen many 2 and 5 teams favored by this much. What do you like here?
Well, Dallas is 2-5, right? And it's a shame because, this team is really trying to find their identity. And, they haven't been able to do it. It just goes to show how good Kyrie is. I mean, Kyrie's just phenomenal. It just goes to how great and important that he is. But, this Houston team beat them by 8 last time. And keep in mind that New Orleans comes into this game after beating Charlotte. That was a game that we predicted New Orleans probably on the money line gets their first win, and they did get their first win. I really liked how New Orleans played that game. I really did. That was a game where you had Looney, finally getting some minutes there. But Murphy had 21, Jones had 11, Poole had 11, Fears had 11, Alvarado 18, Bay 17, Queen, and then Maktovich. All these guys played. They all play. They all had double digits, which is just incredible. Zion is still out in this game, but when you have this many guys scoring and they're all kind of following that Oklahoma City mantra of so many guys playing, Craig, did you know in the last game for the Pelicans, okay, you ready for this? They had 10 guys play at least 15 minutes in the game, almost 15 minutes, okay? And out of that, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 had at least 11 points or more. That is just incredible. You know what I mean? 10 guys playing at least 15 minutes with at least 8 guys, double-digit figures.
I don't know if that's good or bad. I'm not sure.
No, I think that's great. I think what they're doing is they're keeping the defensive pressure up throughout, and any one of those guys can score. That's the reason why when they lost to Oklahoma City, they only had 5 guys in double digits, right? And now they're just spreading the ball around, and everybody's getting a chance to play, so they keep that intensity. I mean, in other words, the minutes that you play them hard, and you're at them. I'm going to take the Pelicans. Look, I have only 10% back in the Pelicans. That's an automatic take for me. Give me the Pelicans here, plus the 7.5.
Don't forget about that free $60 for new customers. Yes, you can get our absolute top plays for free if you're new. All you got to do is type into your URL, docsports.com/ICCT, as you see it on the screen. You'll get a free $60 to try us out. You can use it on anything on the website, including our top plays for the weekend. Good luck.
Craig, Miami plus 9-point dog here, 4-3 versus a 4-2 team. Denver has beaten this team the last 7 times in a row. Miami comes off a big win against the Clippers, which is a game that I told you that Miami's going to bounce back after that Lakers game, and they did. Denver, of course, coming off that big win against Sacramento, but they did not cover the 11.5. Who do you like here?
Remember, that was also a back-to-back game. They played the Lakers the night before, lost, and then came back and beat the Clippers. So that was a big be able to do that this point in the season. I think that gives them a lot of confidence. We've seen they've had some really big wins already this year, and everybody in the public, to the tune of 72%, is on Denver as we record this past midnight. I like this Heat team plus 9. They score a lot of points, so they're going to get you 120 in this one. So that means if Denver's going to win, they're going to have to score over 130 points. I just don't think they can do that. Give me the Heat plus the 9 points in this one. Big, fading the big public play here. Warriors are playing right now. They're up 8 with 3 minutes to go over the Suns at home. Now they're going to have to go on the road to face the Kings here. Warriors minus 3.5, total 230.5. Warriors just 1-3 straight up and against the spread on the road, and haven't been great. The last time they were on the back-to-back didn't look good. I'm losing at Portland. What do you like here?
Well, I'm assuming that the Warriors are going to win tonight. And They did lose to the Pacers and to the Bucks coming in. So they had lost 2 in a row coming in. So they were focused coming in tonight. Will they cover? I'm not sure. They're right on that number right now. Sacramento coming off that 6-point loss to Denver, and they beat Milwaukee. Sacramento is playing better, though. They only lost to Oklahoma City by 6 points, and that is impressive in my mind. And I thought they played pretty well against Denver. Sabonis, Levine, DeRozan, Westbrook had 26, by the way. Westbrook, played his former team. He got the start. He played great, just fell short. Schroeder had 18, Ellis 15, and Eubanks 10. I mean, they had about 9 guys score 8 points or more. They played really well. But can they have that level of consistency beat Golden State? I'm not sure. Golden State also has Denver on deck too, but this is a dangerous game for Sacramento. Melissa Price's line is only at plus 3.5. But I'm going to take it. I'm going to take the Kings here plus 3.5. I think as the Warriors come off a win, the Warriors also beat them the last 2 times as well. I think the Kings kind of remind you of the plus 3.5 line here. It reminds you of the Hawks Magic game that just happened the night before, that plus 3.5 dog, and I think they're going to win outright. I'm going to take the Kings here. Craig, Oklahoma City is a 4.5 point chalk here against these Portland Trailblazers. Remember, these two teams have not met this year. Oklahoma City has won this game the last 10 times in a row. Oklahoma City is 7-0. They're trying to become the first undefeated team ever to go undefeated for the entire 81-game season. They covered again against New Orleans and as a 13-point chalk. Portland coming off that tough loss against Lakers. They're actually favored by 9.5 in that game. They had won 3 in a row prior to that. They are 4-3 right now. Who do you like here?
Yeah, the Thunder are only favored by this amount because they're losing by 1 at half at the Clippers. So in the back-to-back spot, I think there is some rumors that they might rest SGA or play him way less minutes. They're such a deep team. So that doesn't worry me as much as it is, even though they still don't have Jalen Williams back. It doesn't worry me as much as it would against other teams. First of all, they're young. It's early in the season. Those are 2 big factors in a back-to-back. And this is such a deep team. They've proven that there's really nothing. But I still am going to take the Portland Trailblazers here plus 4.5. Why? Thunder are just 3-4 against the spread. So as much as they've been winning games, even if they go to 8-0 tonight, 70% of the public is on Oklahoma City as we're recording this. Because everybody sees that number and they're like, oh, of course they're going to cover the 4.5. This is the time where they win by 2, win by 3, win by 4, and you don't even get the cover. Give me the Blazers here plus the points. This young Blazers team, I think, gets up. This is kind of like a Super Bowl type game, and they have the rest advantage.
I just want to say that how good must you be if the Oklahoma City Thunder draft you? I mean, they must have done all their homework on you. They have such a phenomenal development squad that they draft so well all the time.
They've done so well. Sam Levitt or Presti. Yeah, Sam Presti's done an unbelievable job going all the way back to Russell Westbrook and Durant and James Harden. I mean, Ibaka. You go back, Adams. I mean, you go back. He continues to turn out great. It's unbelievable that nobody else has picked him off in the NBA and like broke the bank to get him. Next game of the night here: Spurs and the Lakers. Spurs, the underdog here, they're 5-1 on the year. Lakers are 6-2 straight up and against the spread. Still no LeBron, but this Lakers team, they don't play any defense, but they find ways to win games. Lakers favored by 2.5. What do you like here? Wemby versus Luka.
Don't you think it's interesting that we don't talk about LeBron anymore?
That's what he probably says too.
And I think that's exactly what the Lakers wanted. They wanted to move on and turn the page, and they've gotten it done. Because this is basically what the Lakers are saying. LeBron, we don't need you. Like, we're ready to move the page. They brought Luka in. And LeBron hates that, of course, because LeBron wants everyone to be only talking about LeBron. You know that. That's how LeBron just always is. I'm not saying that's bad. He just always wants to keep his name in the news. So, Reeves is listed day-to-day. Doncic is listed day-to-day. You have a situation here where the Spurs come into this game. Of course, they lost to Phoenix as a 5-point chalk because they were looking ahead to the Lakers game. The Lakers come off beating the Blazers, Miami, Memphis, and Minnesota. No problem at all. They're 6-2. I do want you to know that they are pretty player deep, though. What I mean by that is Ayton, Hachimura, Smith, and Smart, and LaRivia, and Connect. I mean, they had about 4 guys in double digits. That's a lot of minutes to put on those guys. I'm a little surprised the Spurs are only a 2.5 point dog. But I gotta be honest with you. After losing to the Suns, I like the Spurs here. I think the Lakers are going to be due for a loss here. I think the Spurs coming off a bad loss to the Suns makes sense, but that was a game the Suns had revenge, so that kind of made sense. I'm taking the Spurs plus the 2.5.
So there we go. That's what we like for Wednesday's NBA games. Don't forget, couple things, housekeeping things. One, if you want anything but the 2-for-1, you can use this 15% off kickoff 15 NBA or NHL if you want props. You can even use it on the week passes or month passes or even the full season passes, as long as it's from Indy, Cowboy, or me, and it's not this pass right here. This one is already 50% off, so you can get this, DocSports.com/Craig Arun, for just $99. All the football plays will come out on Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so you want to get in by now, so that way as soon as that plays come out, you can get in them and get the best lines. And then don't forget, you want in on extra plays, you like to pay parlays, props, you like to play more than just a couple plays a day, which what me and Icy usually give out for our premium customers. This is where we give it out. Go to the YouTube Premium. Link is in the description. Get in on whichever level you like. These are month prices. So just for $50, you get in about $2,000 or $3,000 worth of picks. So make sure you check it out. All right, guys, we'll see you again tomorrow in your next NBA rundown.